Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Research AI Tools. This is part 2 of our Connected Papers tutorial series. If you have not watched part 1 yet, I highly recommend checking it out first. In the previous video related to connectedpapers.com, we covered the fundamentals of connected papers, including how the research graph works, what the nodes and the connections represent, and how this powerful tool can simplify the process of finding relevant research papers. You can reach out to this free tool using connectedpapers.com URL. In today's video, we will move beyond the basics and explore some of the more advanced and practical features of connected papers. Specifically, we will discuss how to identify potential research gaps using connected papers graph, what additional information is available for each research paper, such as DOI links, PDF availability, authors, abstracts, and publication details. Now, without further ado, let's put in the title of one of the research papers of mine, and let's copy the title and paste it over here in the spacebar available. So let's click on build the graph, and now it is telling us to confirm the paper. So let's click on that. And again, as in the previous video, I have mentioned that we have three main panels available over here. So in today's video, we will also discuss these two main options, that is prior works and the derivative works, and what the prior works feature represents and how it helps us understand the foundational research behind a particular topic. So this option will primarily represent the foundational research, and the derivative work feature represents how it helps us discover the latest studies and emergence research directions. So when you generate a graph in connected papers, you notice that many papers from the interconnected clusters because they share similarities in concepts, methodologies, or research papers. So as illustrated in the previous video, this is the base paper, and these are the connected papers that are connected somehow using different matrices with the base paper. Now, as you can see, this is the origin paper, and there are further more papers available along with it. So you sometimes you observe that a paper or a small cluster of papers appear isolated, that is, like the one you can see, that this one here is much more isolated in nature. That is Hussein 2023, as you can see now. I have zoomed it in. So this is pretty much an isolated node. These isolated nodes, again, as previously illustrated, but because so many people have questioned me regarding how can the research gap be identified, this isolated node and the paper that it represents give you a very valuable insight regarding a possible research gap. They may represent novel approaches, unexplored applications, interdisciplinary ideas, or areas that have received limited attention from the research community so far. So, by investigating why these papers are less connected, researchers can uncover opportunities for further exploration and innovation. Now, again, besides the titles, I can have much more related information to any paper using this particular panel. So, once I hover my pointer over any paper, as you can see, the information on the right hand side panel also changes. And for example, if I click on this particular paper, then it is telling me that I can easily open its own particular graph, and also I can add it to the origin of my own graph, as well as it is also specifying me the DOI. I can open it into the Semantic Scholar web page, and again, the specific dedicated video to Semantic Scholar is also available on my YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and check it out. And I can save it for future references. So if I click on the Add Origin paper, then there is a new window will be open, and again I can see its own graph as well. So again, the other thing that I want to mention is the prior works and the derivative works. So based upon the origin paper, let's click on the prior works, and a very attractive tabulated format structure is now in front of me. And as you can see that the prior work showed the papers that were most commonly cited by the papers in the graph. So again, whatever the results that my graph was initially showing me, these are the papers that were most commonly cited by the papers in the graph. So that means that the papers that I am interested in refer to these papers in order to come up with the theoretical and the practical results. So this usually means that they are important seminal works, or rather, the foundational works on which the papers base the results on in order to give me a precise experimental results. So this is rather a foundational results rather than the experimental results. While the main corrected graph shows papers that are closely related, the prior work section takes us back to the early influential publications. So if I want to see what was the base on which my paper was based upon, these papers give me a very clear idea. As you can see, this is an excellent paper to read in order to get to the base of what the research was actually showing. And it has more than 50,000 citations. So you can see that this work is, although published in 2004, very much relevant up till now. And again, if you are interested in any of these papers, then you can just click on it, and this will show you how many citations it has, whether it has a PDF available right then and there to read. And this is exactly one of the excellent features of Connected Graph, that you can go ahead and access the PDF then and there. So going to the derivative works now, and the derivative works feature takes us in the forward direction rather than the backward direction that the prior works was showing. It highlights the more recent papers that have built upon, cited, or expanded the selected research graph. So, for example, if you want to see the latest papers that are based on the theory that the origin paper was representing, this is an excellent field on which you can see whether you would like to go ahead with this research area or not, and what are the most recent and latest research paper that are based on that particular idea that was first entered as an origin-based paper. So this feature is particularly useful when you want to identify the latest advancements, new applications, and ongoing research trends in your research field. So by combining the main graph with the prior works and the derivative graph, connected papers become much more than a simple paper discovery tool. It allows researchers to understand the complete journey of a research topic from its foundational studies to its latest advancements. So as you can see now, these papers are much more recent in nature. For example, all of the first two to three papers are either published in 2026 or 2027. And since they have published in 2026, they have garnered only 3 to 4 citations, but that is a very promising sign to begin with. So again, very clearly, these are the papers that are based on the theoretical idea or the practical idea of the origin paper, and what was the base theory that was presented on the origin paper. So if you are interested in this origin paper, you would like to read these research papers in order to further explore what are the most recent advancements in this particular research area. So again, I would like to urge all the audience to please go ahead and reach out to this Connected Paper website and play around with these tools and get yourself accomplished with the recent AI-based tools in research publications. I hope you found this part 2 tutorial informative and useful. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your colleagues and follow fellow researchers, and subscribe to Research AI Tools for more tutorials on AI-powered tools that can enhance your research productivity. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.